Hey everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is today? Wednesday. Wednesday. Wow. Boy, already been an eventful week. Good morning to everybody. Also, I see in the chat that our friend Gloria is celebrating a birthday today. So I wanted to take a moment and wish her a very happy birthday, Gloria. So nice to have you and to have made your acquaintance. You're a terrific lady, and I hope you have many, many more birthdays to come. And same with everyone. Birthdays are so much fun. Good morning to everybody. Hello, Loretta, of course, my trusty sidekick, Loretta, who, thank you very much, renewed her Patreon for the year. That was her birthday. I think she said it was her birthday or Christmas wish, which was just so nice to hear. So thank you so much, Loretta. Know that I do have Patreon if you want to support me, although I understand I'm not doing as many videos as I did before. I do use, in fact, yesterday I used the money that I get from Patreon to buy supplies so that I can do more. It's not like I'm paying bills with it. So so I'm buying supplies so we can do more videos and all of that great stuff. Okay, Benji. Today we are doing something from my Scrap Chick. I mentioned this yesterday. MyScrapChick.com is having a sale. I think it's still on sale. I think it is. I haven't refreshed the screen, but yeah, 50% off. And they have a free file as well. It's a candy wrapper for a candy bar. All right, relax, dog. Relax. That is a reindeer holding a little sign saying, "Oh dear, Christmas is here." I really love the cutesy look of the cards that are from my Scrap Chick. So today we're going to be doing another pop-up very similar to the one we did for Thanksgiving, but this one is a snowman. Hi, Tammy. Oh, I don't know who Kelly Rossov is. She must be new. So this is the pop-up that we're going to be doing today, and there are actually 3 different ones that you can choose from. And so I want to show you how to put this together. They're deceptively simple, I think. And while you have a chance, if you're going to be buying this card, which is, it's called on their site, it's called a pop-up. So you can just do a search. You can call it a pop-up, or let me do Snowman and see what comes up. So there's lots of different things to choose from the Snowman. And oh, look at this one. It's like a box card shadow box. That's interesting. But these are the ones we're focusing on. These are the new SVGs, Snowman pop-up cards, 1, 2, and 3. Well, the first one isn't 1, but there's a 2 and 3. Yeah, so these are really cute. I only chose one, the one with the top hat. So that's the one we're going to go with. For tomorrow, before I get started, I want to show you what we are going to be doing. Something from Lori Whitlock. I'm going to give you the direct link to this because it took me forever trying to find it. And I purchased it, I don't know, ages ago. It's a shadow box card that's 5x7, and I just love this one. I put it together yesterday and was so pleased with myself that I wanted to show you. It says Merry Christmas. It almost looks like a Polaroid photo, and here is the back. And then on the inside, I don't know if you can see that, but there's trees and a little snowflake pattern. And then in the front, very delicately cut out in silver glitter. So we're going to do this one. However, I have to admit I'm not sure if it was our dean yesterday who said, every time I go looking for something from Lori, I get a headache because she has so many things there. And it's true. And I'm going to actually give you the exact link to this, because if you like it and you just going to look for it, it is so hard to find, which is sad, because she's got so much stuff going on. The other thing that's really exciting is that I spoke to Mary from SVG Cuts via email, and she has a little baby. It's not a baby anymore. Her little girl is going to preschool, I think. So that would make her like what, 3 or 4, and she said, she's run a little behind, and that's what motherhood's all about, right? So I told her that we wanted to do some videos of things, and she sent me, because I couldn't find my directions for the heirloom Christmas tree, and so she resent them to me. But then as I got doing that, I started working on some box cards. So on Friday, I'm going to be able to do from my Cricut Extra Joy Extra. I don't know what the actual title is. Extra Joy or Joy Extra. Jamie Leonard would know. But I'm going to try to do from the Extra Joy, I think it's Joy Extra. I'm going to try to do one of her box cards from there. And so, Joy Extra. Thanks, Jamie. So the Joy Extra, I'm going to show how to do some of these box cards. So if you've purchased them in the past, and you haven't done them, I think that will be a lot of fun. And then I will schedule the heirloom Christmas tree construction later in the week or month, later in the month. I have a few people that I have to give them to. So I have to make them. I've also been so busy doing a bunch of things. First of all, I found some old, these Abominables. Remember these guys? The Abominable Snowman gift card holders. So I found, well, actually my dogs found, because they have a tendency when I'm talking, they have a tendency to go through all the stuff. And, they're short dogs, but I keep things on the floor and I forget, and they find them. So they found this, which I very carefully preserved a bunch of these pieces for the Abominable Snowman. And one of them got kind of sun-baked. This one here, so I'm going to have to replace that. But I thought, okay, we can do that. And then I started playing around with paper poinsettia cards, and so many cards that I don't know. I'm gonna have to work really, really hard on getting all of these done for Christmas, which makes me happy. I get to sit in my nice warm front room and just play all day. And then I look up and at like 2-3 o'clock, when my mother and son come home, I'm like, wow, the whole day is gone by now. So I'm very happy. I'm so happy that you can join me as well. So today we're working again on the My Scrap Chick pop-up card, which, as you can see here, has a lot of pieces, but it's really not that complicated. And if you were to watch the video, which she does a great job with the video, Cindy G and My Scrap Chick, I thought she unnecessarily complicated this one because she showed the assembly of all 3 of them. So I decided just focus on one. And if you decide to choose a different snowman, you can know that you can just sort of swap out things, okay? But basically this card is very similar to the turkey card that has the base that has it's a hexagon, so there's 6 sides plus there's a tab. And then it has the snowman popping out, and in the background a little bit of a snowburst, and then in the front some really delicate snowflakes, and then around the side of the box some pretty paper that I found. I don't even know if I kept the name of that paper. I know people usually like, I think it's an Echo Park paper that I use. I'm gonna have to look for it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in and put this together. I am live. Gladys, good morning. How are you? You have not used your Joy Extra, but you got one. Yes, I know, the print and cut. I was actually also on, what's the name of that new TikTok? And I had started doing some TikToks back in 2022, and I think I'm going to start back on them because they were fun to do. They're just like 30-second videos where I show you a new card. And so for the people that can't wait or don't want to listen to me talk for an hour, they can go and just see what it is that we're up to. So this is the card. I'm trying to hold it up. I'm having a little bit of problem getting it completely up. This reminds me, I heard on the news just the other day that there's going to be like 2 more Frozen, the movie Frozen. My sister loved that one. There's going to be 2 more Frozen sequels coming up from that franchise. So if you like the movie Frozen, you're in for a treat. I don't know when they're coming out, but there you go. So what I've done is gone ahead and assembled one to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to assemble one together here after I give my dog a treat because he's being a pest. Hold on just a second. All right, Benji. Then you're going to leave me alone, right? All right, teddy bear. They always have to get this same exact thing or they get mad at each other. That's a definite brother on brother relationship, isn't it? All right, so let's see what we got here. We have, of course, the base. Oh, we can't lose the carrot nose. That makes it looks really cool. So this is the base, and you'll notice that the base has a lot of these dash cut lines. We're going to fold them all both ways so that we can get our card to work. Now you'll notice right here on the edges there is a 1/4 of an inch fold, and we're going to fold that inward towards the inside. So this is the inside, this will be the outside. Okay, so we're going to do that for all 4 of the sides, and don't forget to flip it over, do it on the other side. And there's 4 of those, right? And then for your final step is you're going to fold all of these little squares, which we're going to put the paper on. Okay, so the idea here is that these little extra 1/4 inch sort of sections are going to be glued down, and it's going to support our card so that it will, because it's a little bit top heavy here, so it's just support the card a little bit. So we're going to glue there, and here you go. I actually was pretty excited yesterday. I don't know, I was just really into, you ever get in that mode where you're just like, I want to make all the things. There's not nearly enough time in the world to make all these lovely things. I think it was after I went onto Lori's website and started seeing all these new things that she had there. And I thought that I was sort of up to date on all her new stuff. But no, she's got tons and tons of lovely products, but it is hard to navigate her site, I will tell you. I totally agree with you, Ardeen. It's a little tough to navigate. And then it's also tough to figure out, what do I own already? Because sometimes I see something and my memory isn't that great. And I'm like, did I buy that one? Or did I just see it and say, oh, that one's nice. All right. Glass of water. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give this a little bit of time to dry, because we really want for that to support our snowman. So I'm going to flip it over while I'm here anyway, and I'm going to take out my pieces that I cut out. And yes, this is, I believe it's either Doodlebug. It's either Doodlebug or I want to say it's Doodlebug, but I love all of these different color snowflakes, and I thought that would bring some color to mostly blue, blue shades of blue. So this has like a purple, that plum pink. I just love it. Ooh, I don't know. I just get so excited, so excited. And you know, just want to make them all. And then, you know, what happens is I don't know who to give them to. I really have to work on that. My friend Christine's coming home from Florida next week. I think she said the 11th. And so I have to go through. I need to. I owe the school. What was it? The charity, the food kitchen called Citizen Inn in our downtown city, Peabody. I thought that it would be fun if they had the cards that they could use either to help their citizens that take advantage of their programs, or maybe as a like a thank you gift for somebody. So, but I still have not gotten through to putting all of them together and sending them down there. It's the best laid plans of mice and men, right? You have good intentions. Just like my Christmas tree. It's sitting up, no lights on it, and the bulbs are sitting out in front of it, but I have to find the lights. I'm like, where are my lights? So, there you go. Every year it's the same thing, but I've decided after I spoke to my cousin that I'm going to leave the tree, once I get the lights on it, I'm going to leave the tree actually assembled and then just like kind of cover it up. And so that way it takes away all of that effort of having to put the tree and the lights together. And then I can just focus on getting the Christmas decorations on it. So there you go. So all I'm doing here is just gluing these little squares. And they are not actually squares. They're slightly asymmetrical. So you're going to need to make sure you're putting these on correctly. This is a little taller than it is wide. So that's what we're doing here. All right. And that last one is going to go there. We're not going to close this up right away, but just so that you can see, this is how it is going to look, right? It's going like this. And this is how the mechanism is actually going to fold in. Like this. I made it look so easy and now I can't redo it. Okay, here we go. So it's going to either come up like this or go down like this. And by the way, you have to make those sounds when you're doing it, because it's the mechanism, right? That's just me. Anyway. Okay, so that's our main piece, and that we're going to put aside and wait for it to fully dry. Let's see all of the other pieces that we have. You'll notice that a lot of these are duplicates, and that's because this is a very tall piece, and she didn't want to run the risk of it, you know, sort of falling over. So for the browns, I believe one of them had a what do you call it? What do you call this? The tab on it, and I'm not seeing it here, so that's a little odd. But you're going to glue these two together, and the same with this. This is going to be the back piece, and they're going to get glued together. All right, so these two get glued together. Right? Oh, right. So down here, there's your tab. So you don't need a duplicate there. It just goes down to this one. So when you're putting these together, that's the way that it's supposed to be. Okay. And then this is the front piece that's going to have, and that's not duplicated. So this one is going to have all these little delicate snowflakes here. And then, of course, we've got our snowman. So our snowman consists of these two brown pieces that we're going to glue together. They don't have the tab, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, they don't have that tab, but they do get glued into place. So here's our snowman, and I'm turning this over because actually the way that this is cut out is that the scarf is over here. So I need to make it so that both pieces are like that, you see. And then we'll put all the little pieces on there. The scarf, the top hat, the nose, which is absolutely adorable. And then for these pieces, there are some snowflakes. Some bigger snowflakes. And if you wanted to, you could certainly cut out this white snowflakes in white glitter, or if you wanted to embellish it after the fact, like say with some glitter glue or other glitter, you could certainly do that. And then this piece goes on to our snowman. I think that one goes on. Well, maybe it's the larger one that goes on the snowman that I didn't put. And then they've got these pieces here just to give that illusion of snow. Every time I say the word snow, I think of Rosemary Clooney. Weird. And by the way, we got snow this morning. We did. We got just a dusting, but it's enough to put somebody who is already in love with snow in the mood. Getting around in the snow and finding fun ways to get around in the snow. So there's a lot of snowmobiling and everything. But it is it's gorgeous country, but it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, quite literally, the lake, the Connecticut lakes, basically chop New Hampshire from Canada, so you can actually go in back and forth between Canada and on the lake in the wintertime if you're a snowmobiler. I wonder if they have to keep like their sort of passports or whatever if they go. I have to ask my sister that, because it seems like they will make stops in Canada or from Canada to New Hampshire. It's kind of interesting. I didn't understand how, especially during the pandemic, how much that affected people when they closed the borders. Because, the borders, okay, they closed the borders. But my sister lives in a border town. So she will go often with her kids, even to play sports and such. But when they closed the borders, I mean, literally people were like, okay, we go grocery shopping in New Hampshire. How do we do that with a closed border? So they had to make accommodations for those people. Interesting. You just don't, I don't know, just don't think about it. all that much because I live in a smaller state, and as obviously the states on the East Coast are smaller than the ones on the West Coast, and so you can actually drive through almost every. And in fact, I did that once where we decided, my husband and I decided to drive through all of the New England states in one weekend. So we started off in Massachusetts, and we went down to Rhode Island, Connecticut, and then came up through Western Mass, and then Vermont, New Hampshire, went right across New Hampshire to Maine, and then came back down. It was such a fun trip that that it was just like one of those epic trips that you just remember. And we stayed like overnight, two of the nights, but we got through every state. And it's really fun to see the different states that way, where I know if you like live in Texas, you can drive all day and still be in Texas. So I totally get that because it's such a big state. But our states are tiny, minuscule compared to some of the others. So anyway, all I'm doing here is just gluing, as you can see. Gluing our pieces together to create a nice stable piece, right? And here we go. And then last night I went downtown to our brand new O'Shea Mansion, which has been renamed the Bell Tavern. And we had dinner there, and it was really darling, but not like over the top elegant, very much period decorated, the colors and everything, the parquet floors, they had the fire going, Christmas tree up. It was just really lovely, and the meal was delicious. They had this butternut squash bisque that was like, it was like eating, well, I love squash, but it was like eating squash, but having a drink at the same time, or having soup at the same time. It was so nice. It was like a thick bisque, or possibly a thinner. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just lovely, and it had pumpkin seeds in it and all kinds of interesting spices. So that was cool, and I got to see my friends at the Conservation Commission, which we still do Zoom calls for our meetings, and so I don't get to see them in person except maybe once or twice a year, and it was really nice to see everybody. We're a small commission. So we had a dinner with the planning board, and I saw our ward counselor, Julie Daigle, there, and she was there. I'm not really sure why she was there. She might be working with the planning board, but she also works with the guy who bought the mansion and put together this beautiful, and it has like 3 floors. So there's the restaurant on the main floor. In the basement is what they call a speakeasy. So it's like a tavern, I guess. But I think there's also a bar. I didn't pay much attention, to be honest with you, because I'm not much of a drinker, but there's a bar on both floors, and then upstairs they have 8 beautifully appointed rooms. I wanted to see them, but they already have guests in there, even after just a month of being open, I think, and they already had guests. So that was so lovely to see our Fair City getting in on the tourist action. Next year will probably be absolutely crazy because they didn't open until late October, I don't think. So, and we get all of those tourists. And for years we've been saying, oh, we get all these tourists, but we don't really see them. They go straight to Salem, but now they're starting to stay in our city. And there's going to be another hotel, more like a Marriott hotel, but there's going to be another hotel that is coming. And we have a big mall as well. So the mall attracts a lot of people as well. But it's kind of funny when my sister comes down, because she used to live in this town, because we all used to live here. She's like, oh my God, the traffic. And I'm like, right? It's crazy. It's just crazy, the amount of traffic. We've grown from a very small community when I was brought up here from Boston, because my folks were, well, my father's folks were Italian American, and they settled just outside of Boston in a city called Somerville, and which is very close to Cambridge and Boston. And Boston has a lot of different neighborhoods. Somerville's really not a neighborhood. It's kind of its own place, but we moved up here in the 70s, and it was like, I remember, because Salisbury Beach was a place that we would go when we lived in Boston, and it was like, that was a vacation. Oh, we're going to go to Salisbury Beach. And then when we moved to Peabody, it was like still kind of far enough away and still pretty remote, not yet built up. A lot of were summer cabins. I think a lot of people focus on the South Shore of Boston, which has the Cape, but we have our own Cape up here. We have Cape Ann, and it's grown over quite a bit of time. So now to go to Salisbury Beach, some people actually live there and then they work down here, which is kind of funny. The same thing with Cape Ann. So it's interesting to see how things change as you get older. And I am getting older, right? Here I go, rambling again, you guys. But anyway, it was such a delight to be able to go to the Bell Inn and Tavern. The food was very good, and the company was even better. So I'm happy to have been able to make it. And I drove myself. That was the other thing. My sister was like, you're driving? I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'll probably get a ride. And she's like, yeah, you don't want to drive. And I'm like, yeah, right. But then I was like, the heck with it, I'm gonna drive. I haven't driven in like 4 months, and I did forget how to turn on my car and to make the window go up and down, but other than that, I did okay. All right, so let's stop talking, Rita, for a minute so we can talk about this assembly. So now that we've allowed this to dry, you can see this is the way that it's going to close up, like this. And that mechanism up and down is how the pop-up is going to get flattened, right? So you can either do it up or down. I think I messed up a little bit because I'm having trouble with the up part. But the down part, this is how it's supposed to look. Okay? So there are 3 slots. There are 2 in the back and 1 in the front. But you'll notice that this one here is just one little slot there that doesn't have a slot on that corresponds with it on the bottom. So, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to try out and just make sure that we have all the right pieces. So we're putting this one in, and this is going to go in here. Oops. Move it down. I want you guys to be able to see it. All right. And this one is going to actually go here and then on this outside of the mechanism. And then this piece will go here. And the reason I'm putting in backwards, I'm not going to glue them just yet, but when I put them in backwards, this one comes over here. And then you have all 3 pieces facing you. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this one in. You see that there is a tab. Fold that tab and get it through here. Now it's facing down, and I'm just going to glue this tab right here to the back, or the bottom, really. It's just the bottom part. Move the project down. Can you see it now, Loretta? Happy birthday, Gloria. Gloria had to Gloria had to step away. But I'm glad you told us it was your birthday, so we could all wish you a happy birthday. December birthdays are tough. My father's birthday was in December, and he never complained about it. But I had a friend whose birthday, you know, more my age, this person, and he always complained because he's like, I don't want to get a red and green Christmas cake for my birthday. And his birthday was like December 26th or 27th. And he was like really adamant about it, you know, like, no, it has to be a birthday cake. And I understand that when you're a kid. This guy was not a kid in his 40s, and he was complaining about the color of the cake that he got, but that was left over, I guess, from when he was a kid. All right, so here is our next grouping, and I'm going to just sort of push it up a little bit so you can see where we have our tab. We just have that one tab. Let's get it really close in there and fold it, just so that we know that this is going to really work correctly. Meanwhile, my sister's down in Florida. My older sister, Teresa, down in Florida, enjoying 70-degree weather, and, you know, but I don't know. I love the snow too, so I don't know. I can't complain. All right, so we've got the front piece in, the back piece in. Now we have the snowman itself, and what we're going to do is, you see that there's no tab on there, but there is this tab, so we're going to glue there and glue it there, and that will allow us to move the mechanism this way. You see? So and here we go. Don't worry if you get a little bit of extra glue on there. You really want that to stay, because, and I'm going to give it a couple of seconds to sort of grab. If I try to close it too soon, it might not stick. It might not stay stuck. Okay, so let's give it a couple of seconds. But then what we're going to do is we're going to close it up like this. So we're going to need to put glue on 2 of these tabs, either the left or the right ones, up to you. I think I'm going to do the right ones here. So I got to thinking about glue yesterday as I was in my like flurry of card making, and I remembered seeing on Etsy these. Okay, so now you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to close it up. I think I can do it this way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Anyway, I remember seeing on Etsy these glue bottle decorations, because I keep losing my pins, and so I went hunting, and I found, when they come in, I'm gonna have to show you guys. Well, you'll see them on the videos, but I ordered quite a few of them, as I thought they were really cute. They're like little decorative things that come off, and so you really can't lose them like you can lose these. And they're stainless steel, so they don't warp your or turn your glue like brown from rust. Okay, so let's just see if we can make sure that that glue has really taken. I want to force it. But you see, that is it up. And then before we put it together completely, that's what it's going to look like down. But it's supposed to be like up a little bit higher. So that didn't turn out the same way as the first time I did it. Okay, so then we have only one more flap, one more tab to glue is right here. I'm going to close that up, give it a second. And if you are wondering about this paper, I think, let me just see, is this it? No, this is a little bit different, but I think, for some reason, I keep thinking it's Doodlebug paper, but I don't see, and I usually keep the title, so if anybody wants to know what kind it is, and I don't see that I kept it. Oh well. If I find out, I'll let you know, but I think it's Doodlebug Winter Wonderland, which is like a collection kit that they have. Okay, I think this is probably adhered enough so that we can just sort of hold it like that. Let me get up a little bit higher so you can see. All right, so there is our adorable snowman. And then if you're going to mail this, you would fold it up. And technically, yes, it can also fold down. My first one I had a little bit of a problem with the fold up part. But this one came out perfect. So this is how you would mail it. It will fit in a 5 by 7 inch envelope. And actually those envelopes are about 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I've told you in the past that I just buy them. I'm waiting for my recent ones to come in that I purchased. And I just buy them from Michael's, packs of 50. And they usually have buy one, get one, usually half off. So you get basically 100 envelopes for the price of 75. So that's pretty cool. And oh, yesterday I was talking to you about that paper from the Park Lane paper from Joann's, and I misquoted because I did the math in my head. There's 60 sheets in one box of this paper, and I got it for less than $10, and I was saying that meant that it was $6 a sheet, but I don't think I did my math right. I don't think I did my math right. Oh, they did have a Michael's, Loretta. Thank you for checking that out. Okay, and then for tomorrow, wow, I finished early. So for tomorrow, I thought that I would show you this and a bonus card, which I just always love this card. It's quite old from Lori, but it says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Very cute, and it's very simple to put together. So I figured I'd throw that in with tomorrow's, which is this one, and just so that you can see it's very intricately cut. I used silver glitter for this, and also for the trees I used green glitter. And then this paper, the diagonal stripe, which I will tell you was a little difficult. I had to cut it a couple of times because the way that the pieces showed up on the mat, the diagonals were going the wrong way. So we'll show you both of those tomorrow. And before I set up the video, I will put the links to both of these cards in there. And I guess that's it for me. I'm done for today, which makes me sad because I could sit here and chit chat with you. I know, diagonal stripes. Oh, Glory, hallelujah. That's how you got your name. That is a lovely story, Gloria. My father had a similar family thing. He wasn't a breech birth, but he was born on the 18th of December. But he came after my uncle, who was handicapped. He had passed away from his injuries, and my grandmother was so sad to, and you have to, it's an Italian American, and he was the only boy. Salvi was the only boy, my uncle. And so when she got pregnant, and she was like 50 something at the time. No, not 50, 40, in her late 40s or something, when she got pregnant with my dad. And they were just like, it's a miracle, because my grandmother was so religious. She would walk to church every morning and go to like 6 a.m. mass. And so when he was born, December 18th, back in the day, they kept the babies a lot longer. And so he came home on Christmas Eve, and they put him under the Christmas tree, and they said, he's our Christmas miracle. And until the day he died, and even after, his older sisters treated him like a little miracle baby. And it was always celebrated on Christmas, his birthday. So I get that. Like, you can either love it, love that you were born so close to the holiday, or perhaps you didn't like it, like my friend Mark, who didn't like to be, my birthday is separate, sort of thing. Anyway, thank you so much for coming today and listening to me talk. I just love you all, and I'm so thankful that I have this opportunity to be with you any day that I can be here with you. So I'm glad that you came. And if you're going to watch the replay, then I'm glad to have you watch the replay. Make sure you leave me a little note. I try to respond as best I can to everyone when they comment on there. And just enjoy the holiday. I used to put so much pressure on myself to make my holiday perfect and decorate and everything. And now, I don't know if it's because I am sick or whatever, but I'm much kinder. Maybe it's because I'm older. I'm just much kinder to myself. And I used to have big giant open houses, and now it's just my family, and that's fine. And we have all of our traditions. So be nice to yourself. That's probably the best gift you can give yourself, is being nice. Is being nice to yourself. All right, during the holidays period. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful day. I will see you again tomorrow, Thursday, and then I'm also going to be here on Friday. As I mentioned, this is a week that I don't get treatment. Next week, I will be in treatment, so the schedule will be off a little bit. I'll let you know as I get closer to those days. All right. Talk to everybody later. Love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.